Thanks so much, guys, for joining us for our day 3 of the campaign in respect of the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Now, on our first day, I received a number of calls from Igbo, particularly an Igbo, I think he lives in Canada, asking that they would like to interview me. And then I said to them that I don't take interviews from the Igbo. And others were like, yeah, we are saying nothing but the truth, that the Igbo actually destroyed Nigeria, that the Biafra agitation is nothing but an emotional blackmail on the part of the Igbo to retain the continuity of the unitary system they impose on the Yoruba nation, which is not favorable to us. And then we've also received a message from the office of the head of state of Yoruba land in respect of Oni of Ife. They are really proud that we could come out with the constitution of Western Nigeria. Like what we do every preceding day is to recap what we spoke about in the last day. And that is what we are going to do now. But I want to say something because of the young people that are watching us all over the world, that there is a big difference between a country and a nation. You could see writers, speakers do use them interchangeably. That is very common, but they are different. When we speak about a country, we are simply saying, what we're saying essentially is a government occupying a particular territory. That is what a country is all about. Nigeria is a country of many nations. Nigeria is not a nation. When we speak of a nation, we're speaking of a people that have a large body of people united by common descent. When we speak about descent, we're talking about the origin of a person. The origin could be from a family or nationality. A nation is a large body of people united by common descent, common history, common culture and language, living in a particular territory. So Yoruba is a nation, Nigeria is a country. These two must be distinguished. I will all define Nigeria as a mere geographical expression, that Nigeria is not a nation at all. During the first campaign of President Trump, he clearly defined and stated that his father was a German and his mother a Scottish. Scotland is one of the 4 nations that united together to form one country called the United Kingdom. You won't see Scottish here in United Kingdom addressing their nationality as British. No, they always say they are Scottish. Oftentimes you see white American traveling to United Kingdom, particularly going to England. They will tell you they are going to England. They won't say they are going to the United Kingdom. This is the same thing when we had regional government. Many young people today who are Yoruba, they have no idea that if a foreigner is coming from America to Nigeria, he will have to get a specific visa of the region that he or she is traveling to. The Yoruba have their own ambassador The Igbo had their own ambassador. The Hausa had their own ambassador. That was the beauty of parliamentary system under regional government. So if you are traveling from America to Yoruba region, you will obtain a visa that specifically stated where you are going. You cannot use that visa to cross to the eastern region. You can't use that visa to cross into the northern region. This is one of the reasons that the Igbo centralized Nigeria, because virtually every visitor coming into Nigeria wanted to only attend Yoruba land. And because of this, we're getting so much money from visa fee. Nobody wanted to visit Eastern region, which belongs to the Igbo. Very few visitors wanted to visit Northern region, which belongs to the Hausa Fulani, simply because the Igbo couldn't attract visitors to their Eastern region. It is one of the reasons they destroy the regional government that we all hold there and speak eloquently about today. So there is a big difference between a country and a nation. Nigeria is a country. Yoruba is a nation. So it is very wrong when we fill form and we say our nationality is Nigerians. There is nothing like that. It is completely wrong. Our nationality as Yoruba people is Yoruba. This is what we should write in any form that we are given to fill. But there is one thing that is common with all nations on this planet Earth. Every nation on this planet Earth must have a constitution. Every nation must have a constitution. We, the Yoruba nation, we had a constitution. This is what makes us independent of the federal government of Nigeria. There is no nation on earth today without constitution. Even the first argument whereby they said that there's no constitution in the United Kingdom, they have written laws. Every nation must have a constitution. We, the Yoruba nation, we had a constitution called the Constitution of Western Nigeria. It was suspended by the Igbo. That is what my generation want to revive. But we will not revive it by saying it alone. We will harm ourselves with chemical and biological weapons, because the Igbo and the Hausa Fulani want to continue to use this unitary system to suppress and subjugate our people. We raised a fundamental issue yesterday that people tend to ignore. They tend to ignore. Why would the Igbo and Hausa Fulani will be desperate to be police officers in Yoruba land? For what purpose? Why are they not desire to be police officers in their respective region that they come from? They want to be police officers in Yoruba land to kill you, to suppress you, to subjugate you. They will never agree to a return to regional government without war. But the greatest mistake they are making is this: no reasonable Yoruba, whether it's liberal or conservative, will go to war because of regional government. We will have to split the blood of innocent people because of regional government. It will never happen. Whatever will make Nigeria to go via war, it will be for Oduduwa Republic. We will never kill because of a return to regional government. But we will be pushed to that level. And the Igbo and Hausa Fulani will make the greatest mistake of their life, thinking that life will be lost so that we can now sit on a table to then return back to regional government. It will never be the same again. And let us be mindful of one thing. We have never lost a war as Yoruba people. Check out the history. We have never lost one single war. The English never defeated us. They signed treaty with us after fighting for 10 years. We have the strength of character to go all out we fought the longest war on this planet Earth for 16 years. So if the Igbo and Fulani will not agree peacefully to the presidency of Tinubu from 2023 and thereafter agree to the devolution of power back to the respective regional government, in which Tinubu will create 10 regions. 1, Yoruba region. 2, Hausa region. 3, Igbo region. 4, Kanuri region. 5, Ijo region. 6, Edo and Urhobo region. 7, Efik-Ibibio region. 8, Western Middle Belt. 9, Central Middle Belt. And 10, Eastern Middle Belt. These are the regions that shall be created by Tinubu, and he will devolve political powers back to these regions. So, whether these people like it or not, Nigeria will go back to regional government. But if we have to go via war, the country will break for the good of the various nations that will come out of it. So, to recap what we have discussed yesterday, this is very, very important for us. Before the Igbo suspended regional government in 1966, the Yoruba, we were in charge of our electoral commission. Elections in Yoruba land were conducted by Yoruba people. And it was the Oni of Ife who appointed the electoral officials. And the electoral officials were independent. They are not subjected to any authority after their appointment by the Oni of Ife. But today, and since the suspension of regional government, it is one ridiculous federal government that will come and impose electoral official on us. And because of this, we have been having election violence across Yoruba land. Because the government in power imposes INEC official on us. So the opposition hardly wins election in Yoruba land. The Yoruba conservative were experiencing this abnormality for 16 years of PDP rule, whereby the PDP will impose INEC officials who are answerable to them as electoral commissioners across Yoruba state. And because of this, we have always experienced electoral violence, election riggings, and this will continue until we go back to devolution of power back to the respective regions. So we saw from the constitution that we read yesterday that we control our own electoral commissioners appointed by the office of the Oni of Ife, who doubles as the governor whom we now address as the head of state. So you can see the beauty of regional government that the Igbo nation destroyed, and they do not wish that we go back to that system because they cannot grow on their own. Let me say this with all humility in me. If MC Oluomo and other NURTW, about 100 of them, they are randomly selected from a street in Lagos and asked to go and govern Igbo land, they will make Igbo land great within 10 years. If 100 randomly selected Caucasian citizens from the United States of America are selected from the street of New York and brought down to Igbo land to govern their space, under 5 years, they will make Igbo land great. It is the same thing with the English. The most stupid, useless English on the streets of London, just randomly selected 100 and bring them down to Igbo land. Within 7 years, they will make Igbo land a great place. Igbo people lack human capital. That is what we must explain. It is the reason why their homeland is a shithole. It is the reason why they cannot develop. So they continue to believe that they cannot survive on their own without Nigeria. That is why they use the propaganda of Biafra to appropriate Edo land, Urhobo land, Ijo land, and Efik-Ibibio land. This is what they do every now and then. It is because they lack human capital. They spend 16 years learning how to sell guguru and epa without acquiring qualitative education. They are now blaming everybody, claiming marginalization, using Biafra as an emotional blackmail on the rest of the people in Nigeria. Ask them that the system they destroyed in 1966, let us go back there. They will say, no, it is Biafra they want. What kind of Biafra do they want? Appropriating other people's land. That is their own kind of Biafra. They are the problem of Nigeria. Yesterday, we found out from the constitution of the Western region that we used to conduct our own election. As a matter of fact, the only enduring census we've had in Nigeria is that was conducted in December 1952, and the other one that were conducted in January and February 1953. The Yoruba conducted their own census in December 1952. The Hausa Fulani and the Igbo conducted theirs in January and February 1953. That is the only legitimate and genuine census that we have ever conducted in Nigeria. All the census that has been conducted since the English colonial left have been rigged by the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo. It is a beautiful thing to know that we, as Yoruba people, we counted ourselves. But today, you say to Hausa Fulani, the Yoruba should count themselves. They will say no, that the federal government must conduct the census because they want to rig this election. And we have the right census of Nigeria from an institution in Germany saying that the Yoruba people are 60 million, the Hausa Fulani are 49 million, the Igbo people are around 40 million. But if you allow Buhari to conduct a census exercise now, it will give Hausa Fulani 120 million population. The only thing they do is fraud, fraud, fraud. It's a simple request. Hausa Fulani, count yourself. Igbo, conduct your own census. Yoruba, let us conduct our own. Look at what the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, said during the pandemic of this coronavirus. He was disappointed that we don't even have data of people. How can you have a country that you cannot trace people? Is that how it is done in the United States? Is that how it is done in the United Kingdom? When we conduct census here, it is local government that are responsible for conducting census in the United Kingdom. Everything in the Igbo centralized. We can see from that constitution that we Yoruba people, we conduct our own census exercise by ourselves. We don't need the federal government. But you said that to the Fulani. You remember when Buhari was an ordinary citizen before he became president, Obasanjo wanted to use to conduct census using fingerprints. This same Buhari said that their wives cannot be counted because they are Eleha, because of their religion. And people are being counted in Saudi Arabia where they brought Islam. Just to use fingerprints in order to know the exact number of people. He refused. He let other Hausa Fulani refuse it. Yet they continue to lie that they have the highest population. If you have the highest population, why are you scared of fingerprinting technology? What we're saying, and the beauty of the constitution that was suspended by the Igbo, was that we counted ourselves. We do not accept any census conducted by the federal government of Nigeria. It is the region that must conduct their own census. Power must be devolved back to the region. That's why we're asking for devolution of power. Nothing like restructuring. And the only man who could give us devolution of power is Tinubu. No Igbo, whether dead or alive, no Fulani, whether dead or alive, would devolve power back to the region because they are using the unitary system to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. That is why Yoruba are claiming asylum, even in Latvia. They are claiming asylum in Bulgaria. Yoruba people, the most populated ethnic nation out of Africa. We all saw from the constitution we discussed yesterday, because I'm recapping what we discussed yesterday, that we as a region, we had the power to create our own local government and constituencies. It was in our constitution. But ever since the Igbo suspended this beautiful constitution of the Yoruba people, it is the ridiculously fraudulent federal government of Nigeria that is always conducting, creating constituencies, creating local government. That is why we said yesterday, you continue to hammer on white people. You imagine they say Black Lives Matters, Black Lives Matters. Have you developed your own space to go to other people's country and be saying your life matters when your life doesn't matter in your own horrible countries in Africa, particularly in Nigeria? Igbo destroyed that country. The English, in spite of the fact that we, the Yoruba, disliked them because of their support for the Fulani, but they gave us a very beautiful system, a parliamentary system, because we are a multicultural country, a multi-ethnic country. You cannot use presidential system. You must adopt a parliamentary system of government, or you break up the country along the natural boundaries. The English colonial talk left us with a system that allowed the Yoruba to create their own local government. But the Igbo destroyed that and gave that power to this federal government. That is why we said devolution. That means we are taking back the power. We would devolve it from the federal government back to the regions. It is not restructuring that we are requesting for. It is devolution of power back to the region. The control of the police back to the region. The control of the military back to the region. The control of education back to the region. The control of infrastructure back to the region. Healthcare back to the region. Agriculture back to the region. Forestry back to the region. Fishery back to the region. Seaport back to the region. Airport back to the region. Everything back to the region except foreign policy and immigration and nationalism and few other things that will be less than 10 functions will be left in the hand of the federal government. We saw yesterday from the constitution of the Yoruba people, which we call the constitution of Western Nigeria, that it is the Oni of Ife who appoints electoral commissioner. Just think for a moment. Buhari of Fulani, Jonathan and Ijo appointing electoral commissioners for election to be conducted in Ondo State. These guys are foreigners. They are not Yoruba. But now you think another way that Yoni of Ife, as the head of state of Yoruba land, appoints an electoral commissioner to conduct the election of Ondo State. You can imagine what the result will be. You can imagine what it will be. It will be very easy for the Oni of Ife appointee to easily disqualify Akeredolu if his party is constituting trouble. But an electoral official appointed by Buhari, he would never dare to remove Akeredolu, disqualify him. He would never do that. But an appointee of the Oni of Ife can remove him if his party is constituting nuisance. So, as Black people, the actions of the Igbo and the attitude of Fulani have actually given Black people terrible name. That's why you are not respected anywhere in the world. You're not. Because it's not as if we do not have common sense as Black people. When you give minority power, they mess up your life. There is no country on planet Earth where minority is ruling, except in Nigeria, where minority Fulani presided over that country. Stupid things will happen. It is not rocket science that the Yoruba, as a people, should conduct their own election. Are you telling me that the Yoruba, as a people, can conduct their own election? That the election must be conducted for them by the federal government? We saw yesterday from the constitution of the Yoruba Western region that electoral dispute must be taken to the high courts in Yoruba land. But what do you have since the Igbo centralized everything? You conduct election. Well, the election that will be conducted in Ondo State, of course, obviously, we saw what happened during the local government election. People were stabbing each other, they're killing each other. Because the electoral commissioners were appointed by the federal government. Because the PDP have always been using Igbo to win election. The APC had to resort to use of guns. The PDP brought up their own guns. We're killing ourselves because everything has been centralized. Imagine if Oni of Ife will appoint electoral official, he will cancel the local government election conducted in Ondo State. He can even remove the governor of Ondo State. Sorry, who will query him? He's our natural leader. But because of the unity system introduced by the Igbo, Ordinary local government in Ondo State, we struggled to conduct it. We were killing ourselves over it. And we will continue to kill ourselves because I've been advocating that the APC Yoruba should continue to use MC Oluomo and the rest of this NURTW because the Igbo are being used by the PDP to win election in Yoruba land. We cannot accept that. The Igbo are not Yoruba. They should not participate in our electoral elections across Yoruba land. They should go and participate in election in their own space. If we go back to regional government, believe you me, there will be development in Yoruba land. I don't know whether there will be development in Igbo land. It's none of my business. They have their own leaders too. They have their own youth. They should think of growing the economy of their region. They should think. This is what the beauty of knowledge is. I keep saying to people that before you go to war, you must have the reason why you are going to war. We're going to go to war. We will go to war in that country. How can you destroy an agreement? Don't you know the meaning of United States of America? Look at the word there, united. There are people who agree to something. Look at the word in the name of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom. United. People agree to a document that this is how we are going to govern our country. It is the same thing in Nigeria. We sat down for almost 3 years. We agreed to a constitution. We agreed to a political system. 1 out of 3 people came with guns and destroyed everything. And you think that such a people should be allowed to govern in Nigeria? You think that such a people should not be discriminated against? People who destroy the foundation of our nation? The Igbo are evil people. And everybody knows them in Africa. Criminals. They want to live in Yoruba land. They said we are one Nigeria. Are we one? We've just defined what a nation is. A large body of people united by common descent, common history, common culture, common language, inhabiting a particular territory. That is what makes a nation. The Yoruba people were a nation. The Igbo people, you are a nation of your own people. We're not the same. We will never be. God Almighty wasn't high on marijuana when he created us differently. We need to respect the English colonial thugs. When they were going, they left us with a beautiful system. That is the system the Yoruba nation has been asking that we go back to since 1967. But the Igbo and the Fulani have been saying no, because they control our waterways, because they control our airport, they control our seaport, they control our police, they control our military. They are using guns to suppress and kill our people. That's why they don't want to go back to regional government. They know that if we go back to regional government, Yoruba will control their own police. Yoruba will control their own military. So we're going to have weapons to defend our civilization. But they want to continue to control guns so that they can suppress us. Imagine generation after generation, they want to continue to kill us. They want to continue to put us in prison like they did the other generation. Putting Awolowo in prison, killing MK Abiola, and they are saying they are going to do the same thing to Tinubu. It is because we allow them to control the power of the guns. That's why our generation will use chemical and biological weapons to destroy these people. So we saw from yesterday that if you are not born in Yoruba land, you cannot contest for election. Except, there's a professor to that, except if your father is born in Yoruba land. And we saw from yesterday that if you have a foreign passport, particularly many of you that have British passport and American passport, you can't contest election in Yoruba land. That is the legitimate thing. If you have other passport, you can't contest election in Britain. If you have other citizen, if you have other country passport, you think you can contest for election in America. But what do you have now? Somebody will just come from Igbo land and the rest is this contesting for election in Yoruba land. Is that how Yoruba are going to Igbo land to contest for election? Is that how Yoruba are going to Hausa Fulani land to contest for election? There are Yoruba everywhere throughout this world. But you see what the SSs of the Igbo in Yoruba land, they have Eze, Igwe in Yoruba land. Stupid people. The same thing Hausa Fulani having Emia across Yoruba land. because of unitary system. If we go back to regional government, you think this will be possible? It's not going to be possible under regional government, where we're going to control our police and put our children there and say to them that we don't want this shitty Igwe or Emir. The police will just go and round them up and put them in cell. They go to prison. It's a Yoruba man that is going to be the judge. They spend the rest of their years in prison for flouting our law. They just want to suppress you. That's why they came up with the idea of unitary system. Our generation will fight, believe you me. The first thing you need before you go to war is why you are going to kill. You have a land. They want to take the land away from you. You will fight to defend your honor. The English fought against Hitler and the Germans because Hitler and the Germans wanted to take England from them. Continue to ask yourself questions. They sent me APC committee on federalism. They call it true federalism, illiterate. It's federalism. There's nothing like true federalism, stupid people, which was headed by Nasir El-Rufai. These guys don't want a return to regional government. They continue to say we are one. We are not fucking one. I don't speak Hausa Fulani. I don't speak your language. I don't eat your food. I don't have the same norms and value with you. I can't hear Igbo. What makes you one? Because you have the same skin color. If that is your definition of being one, white people are human beings like black people. So are we not one then? But in America, they conduct census. They ask you whether you are African American or you are white. In fact, they even narrow it down for white, whether you are Hispanic, you are Native American, you are Caucasian. But in Nigeria, to ask a simple question, whether in sense or whether somebody is Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa, they don't want to do it. They just want to destroy what God has created, to forge an identity that the English created, Nigerians. They continue to play Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. They sit around in front of their TV following English Premier League. Stupid people. They cannot even follow their own local league. Unity system has destroyed your brain. None of us were colonized. 96% of the population of Yoruba today still alive. None of us ever witnessed slavery or colonialism, but we behave like slaves. Stupid people, they will go and be protesting Black Lives Matter. The next day, they are watching English Premier League. Or they. Horrible people. They cannot even promote their own league. When we were young, when you speak Yoruba, they tell you are speaking vernacular. Stupid people. Is that how the English are raising their children? Now you say that the white people are not superior to you. They are superior to you in all ramifications. It is not that we're just saying that they're superior to you. Pick their education, pick their political system, look at their healthcare, look at the infrastructure in their country, look at the faces of their people, look at their judiciary, look at their police, look at their military development, look at their science and technology. They are better than you in all ramifications. So stop pretending. That's why we Yoruba would like to relate with the United States of America, to learn from their civilization and their advancement. We want to be able to pick and choose our friends. We don't like English for obvious reason, because they don't like the Yoruba people. We like the French. We like the Germans. We like the Portuguese. The stupid guy was sending me a message saying the Portugal colonized Mozambique and Angola. So because of that, as Yoruba people, I should hate them. What has Angola and Mozambique done for the Yoruba people? Idiots. You say they will tell you, oh, black people, we should not fight and kill ourselves. Or they. The Europeans were killing themselves. First World War, Second World War were actually European war. Killing themselves. It is after they've killed themselves, then they respected each other's sovereignty. Then they devolved power to the respective federating regions in their respective countries. We've not fought ourselves as black people. We've not really fought ourselves as Nigeria. That's why the Igbo will come into Yoruba land and want to have the same right. It's the same thing they were doing across European countries before they fought twice, before they reset their brain. How can an Igbo man want to have the same right over jobs with Yoruba in Yoruba land? I don't have such a right with English. Mean that I stayed in a country for 7 years with a sick child, with no job, with no paper to work. I know what it is to live abroad. I don't want my children's generation to face the same thing. I want them to live in Yoruba land and enjoy. stupid Igbo, Fulani will say that we are one Nigeria and they are controlling our police, controlling our waterways, controlling our airport. They even gave our airport a Fulani name. They have airport in Sokoto named after Sadiq Abubakar too. They have airport in Kano named after Aminu Kano. But our own only airport, they name it after Fulani, and our parents accepted it. So because our parents accepted it, Fulani believe that they've conquered us. And I wrote it here. Somebody was saying to me, and this statement is very common. They said that our Fulani man shogun ogunofimu wereti podule Yoruba. Ogunofimu, you go and read the book, City of 201 Gods. Ile-Ife in Time, Space, and Imagination. The book was written by Professor Jacob Olupono. It was published by the University of California Press. Go and read that book. Armed robber came to attack the former Oni of Ife, Okwade Shijuade, armed robbers with guns. They came to his house in Lagos. He was hiding under the chair. Go and read that book, you'll see. Professor Olupono interviews on his wife. His wife was praying for people to get visa to America. Yeah, was praying to Jesus Christ for people to get visa. I read the book. I read the book many years ago. It came out about more than 10, if not 10 years ago, or 7 years or thereabout ago. That is the top leadership of the Yoruba nation, running away from armed robbers. And you are saying that Ogunlema Fija, Fulani Logun, Fulani that has the backing of the English, because of the support of the English, they now suppress you with guns. You're saying that Fulani Ogunja. I remember when we confronted Ibagani Adam, some of his entourage were telling us, power, MKO, first class brain, well read. He has wealth. He has friend. Fulani's fucking kill him. Nothing happened. Akintola, a first class brain, a graduate, a sitting prime minister of Yoruba land. His best friend was the Israeli prime minister at that time. He was shot and killed by Igbo. They're talking about Ogun in front of guns. We're asking you to go and develop chemical and biological weapons to defend Yoruba civilization. You're talking about Ogun. So yesterday, we also, from the Constitution, we found out that only 87 Yoruba Obas were constitutionally recognized as Obas in Yoruba land, not the ridiculous 10,000 that we have. These are Bales that we claim to have. Everybody's calling themselves Oba. They will now put ridiculous name behind it. It's Royal Majesty. And your ordinary Bale, only 87. Even in the book that I wrote, I only recognize 35 Obas. Now, let me give you an example. We're conducting research to get the exact 87 Yoruba Obas that were recognized. 87. If you look at the present Ogun State had 4 divisions. Yewa used to be former Egbado. Yewa division, Egba division, Ijebu division, and Remo division. These are the 4 divisions in current Ogun State. Yewa division has 19 Obas. From the research we've done, only 1 out of the 19 was a member of the House of Obas. It was the Olu of Ilaro. He's the paramount ruler of Yewa land. So all the other 19, majority of them are Bale. They style themselves as Oba today. If you look at Egba land, Egba has 20 Obas. Egba land. Alaki of Egba is the paramount ruler of the entire Egba land. He was part of the House of Obas. He was part of the 87 Oba that were recognized. Out of these 20 Obas from Egba land, many of them are Bale. But we call them Oba today. They should be styled as Bale. You cannot be having 10,000 Obas. In Ijebu land, there are 20 Obas there. But one is their paramount ruler, Awujale of Ijebu land. Awujale was a member of the Yoruba House of Obas. You know, the English call them House of Chiefs. The Constitution wrote House of Chiefs, but we're changing it It's ridiculous, insultive to call our obas chiefs. Now, the last one, Remoland. Remoland has 18 obas. But the paramount ruler of Remoland is a Caribou of Remoland. He's the paramount ruler. He will be well recognized to sit at the Yoruba House of Obas. We're working to get the exact number of the 86. You know that Oni of Ife is also part of the Yoruba House of Oba. Oni of Ife is the governor. Alaafin is the president of the House of Obas. So you know they are there. If you look at the Ondo State, folks, I know you know Ondo State has a lot of Obas. Akoko alone has 5 plus 6 plus 27 plus 8. That is where I came from. So you know, what is the number of that? But the Yoruba nation, we only had 20 tribes. 20 tribes. And it is from these 20 tribes that I believe that the Yoruba Obas to the House of Obas were elected, but only 87 were recognized. Well, politicians could increase the recognition to 100 or something like that, but it's ridiculous. I think 87 is a normal one. We have too many Obas. If you look at Ondo State, for example, they have so many. But people like Olowo will be part of the Yoruba House of Obas. In our land alone, they have 9 Obas. Ilaje has 11 Obas in Ilaje land. But Olugbo of Ubo is the paramount ruler of Ilaje. So he will be at the House of Oba. In Idori, they have 3 Obas. Owa of Idori will also be part. In Akoko, they have several ones. That's where I'm from. But when I was trying to Google from the Ondo State government, which one is the topmost in Akoko, fortunately rather, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 different set of Obas were selected. And then my grandfather's 2 is one of them. He was selected Olubaka Ofoka. Olisu of Isu, Owa of Obagi, and Olukare of Ikare. These 4 Obas will also be part of the House of Obas. There are other ones that we're still researching on the exact 86 Obas that will be there. Of course, you know the Oba of Lagos will be there. Oba of Benin used to be there because they were under Western region before they became Midwest. So from the constitution of the Western Nigeria, we found that only 87 Obas were constitutionally recognized as Obas in Yoruba land, not the ridiculous 10,000 plus Oba that we now have now as a result of the unitary system. Yesterday, we also, if you could recollect, we also found out that every 10 years, we create new towns in Yoruba land in line with our growing population. Like I was trying to say yesterday, and I read again, you know, Ibadan, people talk about Ibadan. You know, Ibadan is the second largest city after Cairo in Africa. Ibadan was originally called Ibadan. Ibadan means between the forest and the plains. Ibadan was actually founded before 1829. There was this guy called Lagilu. He's the Jagun of Ife and the then Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò of Yoruba land. He left Ile-Ife with some entourage from Ile-Ife, Oyo, and Ijebu to found a new city at Ibadan. There are so many other cities in Ogun State that were founded under regional government, even before regional government. But ever since the suspension of the regional government, we've not had new city founded again because the Igbo destroyed our way of life. Yeah, somebody said I want Babia Palo. There's a lot of the Yoruba Obas that are Bale. Because of the unitary system, they just style themselves as they style themselves as obas. So all of this will have to be addressed. You saw that. We also found that yesterday when we were reading the Constitution that the unity system is too expensive. And everybody is saying, oh, the presidential system is expensive. The entire Yoruba land had 94 legislative members of the House of Yoruba Parliament. 94. As big as Yoruba land is. But today, you imagine how many members of each state houses of assembly, and all of them will have to earn salary from our meager revenue that we get. And they will have special advisor, special assistant, commissioners will have to be appointed, local government chairmen, councillors, extremely expensive political system. You know why? The Fulani are not concerned. Look at their state, like I said yesterday, because the salaries and allowances to pay all these elected politician, appointed politician, the money is coming from Yoruba land. By the time we destroy Apapa, Think Airport, Lagos Stock Exchange, and Lagos International Airport, that's why I'm saying to you, these guys will never be able to pay their public service servants. They will never, include Igbo. Look at Igbo land, a very minute space. It's the same size as Oyo State. Yet it is divided into 5 states with 5 governors, 5 deputy governors, commissioners, special advisor, special assistant, traditional leaders, boards members, civil servant. Look at how this thing is growing. And their salaries and allowances are being paid by monthly allocation from Abuja. Where is Abuja getting this money from? Yoruba land and Igbo land. If we destroy Apapa local government in Lagos, do you think all of these people will get salaries? This is the same thing we said to the Fulani. You are selling our crude oil because the crude oil belongs to Yoruba nation. 35% of the crude oil production is ours. You sell our crude oil and keep the money in England, especially London. The English are using your money to build their own country. Fulani are doing that because the English is their friend. You understand? So they think that when the war breaks out and English supply weapons to them, after everything has been destroyed, Nigeria has been divided, we all go back to our separate space and everybody started developing on their own. The Fulani are thinking the English will give them that money back. Idiots. You are going to suffer double jeopardy. The English will not give you the money back, and all the reconstruction that will be done in Yoruba, it is you, Hausa Fulani, that will pay because you don't have waterways. That is it. We are going to go to war. We know that. The destruction is coming to Lagos. We know that. London was once destroyed. Today, you can't compare London with Lagos. Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan, they were once destroyed with atomic bomb. Today, we cannot compare these 2 cities with Lagos. The entire Germany was destroyed. The entire France was destroyed. Today, they are well developed than Yoruba land. So destruction does not mean the end of the world. It means an opportunity to begin again and protect our space. That destruction will come to Lagos. You can't escape it. Destruction will come to Lagos. Because our generation will not continue to aspire to live abroad. We have lived abroad. We face hell abroad. We have to go and do sham marriages, sleep with animals in the woman's skin, just to stay in England, just to get green card in America. We will be allowing people we never loved, we can never love, to sleep with us just because of paper. We're going through depression. We'll go and queue and apply for asylum and live in asylum camp with wretched people we can never be imagined to live with. We do all manners of things because we want to get our paper to stay abroad. After they have granted us that paper, we do shit job. We live miserable life and we'll die. No, our generation will have to end this. It cannot continue again. So Lagos, destruction is coming upon that city. That city must be destroyed for Yoruba land to rise. If Lagos is not destroyed, you can't get to rule Nigeria. And whatever that will make us to destroy Lagos, it is in favor of Oduduwa Republic. Fulani will not give in. Fulani don't want full-blooded Yoruba to be president of Nigeria. They don't want Tinubu to be president. Igbo would rather hit rat poison than to have a full-blooded Yoruba as the president of Nigeria. They know what such an individual would do. It will get back everything that was taken away from us. So without destroying Lagos, forget it, you will never achieve anything as Yoruba people. Our children will continue to troop out abroad to suffer. But we have to end it. Folks, can you love and like? There's a lot of people that are watching us. They are horrible. They are using this angry face. So you have to love and like as well. These guys are terrible because we are exposing them. They are animals. We've read their history among the Igbos of Nigeria. Go and read that book. It was first published in 1901. It was republished in 1921. Igbo people are the only people on planet Earth eating human beings. They are horrible people. So, folks, you will see that the unitary system is too expensive. It's too expensive for us. But Fulani don't care because they get monetary allocation. Ask yourself, is President Trump giving monetary allocation to the states in America? Is Boris Johnson giving monetary allocation in his country? I know. Hausa Fulani have about 7 states, several local governments. They have governors, commissioners, senators, House of Assembly members, special advisor, senior special advisor. That is coming from only political appointee alone. They have different boards, water board, broadcasting board, this board. They employ people, every one of them drawing salaries and allowances from Yoruba's money. That's why they don't care whether they have 200 states. They are less concerned because they are not making the money. Look at Castina, where Buhari is from. Castina internally generated revenue is not up to 4 billion naira every year. Yet, every year, Castina is getting about 200 billion naira from the federal government, money that belongs to Yoruba. They don't care whether they have 1 million political appointees. So you have to destroy Lagos for these people to go down. Just Apapa local government alone. Bring it down. All of this fucking stupid Fulani and Igbo shouting, saying that Nigeria is not negotiable. They will beg you, Yoruba. They will beg you. They are drawing money from us. We know all of this, and we've been saying to us, we are not going to fire one single gunshot at the Igbo nation and Hausa Fulani nation, but we're going to bring down Lagos. Everywhere in the north will come down crumbling. When they can't pay their public servant, there will be anarchy. Teachers can't get salaries, doctors can't get paid, nurses can't get paid, paramedics can't get paid, civil servants can't get paid. Anarchy. The source of their wealth has been destroyed. That is why they threaten our parents with guns and arrests. They quickly go to the English and they gave them weapons. They harass us. They use psychological warfare on us, saying to us, we are going to destroy Lagos. Lagos, where they are getting their lifeline. They want to destroy. They are technically saying to us, please, so don't destroy Lagos. Stupid Libra, they will come and say to us, why do you want to blow up Apapa Wharf? It belongs to the Yoruba, it's Yoruba infrastructure. Why do you want to blow up Tinkerport? Idiot, I live miserable life in England. Apapa Wharf and Tinkerport is generating 10 trillion. I'm well qualified to be the managing director of those 2 ports. Big boy, do you think the police will be harassing me in England the way they do? 10 trillion, yet there's no health care for anybody in Yoruba land. 10 trillion from your port, yet the road leading to that port is an eyesore. 10 trillion naira from your port. Fulani control it. Go to those ports there. It is Hausa Fulani and Igbo that are working there. Yoruba are begging. They are begging. Yoruba are doing Alaru in their home ports. And you don't want me to blow it up. We do Alaru abroad. We do Alaru in our own homeland. You want us to keep it. You that have no common sense. I'm an economist. We blow up that port. America will come and rebuild it. So we're going to be indebted to America. Fulani has no port. They will use and pay tolls. So they will get their money to pay back our indebtedness to America. All our crude oil money, the external reserve kept with the English. The English are using it to develop their own country. You see everywhere beautiful. The English are using your wealth to make England great. But you can't see because you go to church too much to pray to Jesus Christ, who died many years ago, who will never come back to this planet Earth. The Pentecostalism are fooling you to pray to Jesus Christ. When Fulani are using guns, Igbo are using guns to suppress you. You are praying to Jesus Christ when you should get your own guns. Even Jewish people, the people in Israel, they are using guns to defend their civilization from the Arabs who want to destroy them. Don't let anybody fool you. Lagos is the battleground, and Lagos is our joker. If you will not allow us to rule you in Nigeria, Lagos will go down. And we have given clear warning to the irresponsible English. What you did to us the last time in 1993-94, when you killed our people, when we took over that port, it belongs to us. If you dare that now, in fact, you are going to issue travel warning to your people to leave Yoruba land with what we're going to do to them. You think our generation is joking? You think we want to be slaves? With you folks, let me tell you how this thing works. During slavery, the best of our brain, that means people who have strength, people who are not sick, people who are powerful amongst us were taken into slavery by the English to America and to the other countries. Yeah. What do we do now? The best of our brains in Yoruba land, we have willingly selling off all our properties and applying for visa to go and work as taxi driver in England, to go and work as cleaner in England, to go and work as a carer in England, to go and work shit jobs in England and other countries. Is that not the second slavery that we're experiencing? That's second slavery for us. And you don't want us to go and fight. We're going to fight. So that was what we discussed yesterday, the recap of that constitution. But I want to say this to people that are watching us at home. The constitution of Western Nigeria was only suspended. Yeah, suspended. But the content are still very valid. It would take a full-blooded Yoruba citizen, somebody that his father is Yoruba, his mother is Yoruba, not somebody like Obasanjo or Pastor Tunde Bakari. Pastor Tunde Bakari is a Fulani man. Obasanjo is an Igbo man. Not those kind of people. A full-blooded Yoruba citizen who will not compromise. If we have such an individual like Tinubu as the president of Nigeria, we are going to bring back this constitution. We are going to amend it to be in tandem with today's reality. And it will be our guiding principle and our law for anyone who wishes to come to live, work, and get an education in Yoruba land. So that constitution was only suspended. It is still very valid. That was why today we issued a statement listing the three topmost political positions in Yoruba land according to the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Oni of Ife as the head of state of Yoruba land. We no longer call him governor. Alaafin of Oyo as the president of Yoruba land because he's the president of the House of Obas. And the premier, we no longer call him premier, but prime minister. Don't think we don't have a prime minister. The last election we conducted of the 10 Yoruba speaking states, the Yoruba APC won 8. They won Kwara, they won Kogi, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, and Edo. They lost Delta and Oyo State. Because they have majority, their leader, who is Tinubu, is the leader of the party. And under the Yoruba constitution, it is the party with the majority that forms government. So Tinubu is technically the prime minister of Yoruba land. Libra, it is not whether you like it or not. That is a fact. We had an election last year. Your party lost. So that constitution will be recalled, amended to fit today's reality. Like I said to you, the only man that can make this possible is Tinubu. That is why the English, the Fulani, and the Igbo do not want him as president of Nigeria. Why is it that the English do not want Tinubu as the president of Nigeria? Because he will end their neocolonialism. A number of you have gone to university to read books about neocolonialism. They said neocolonialism is you go to IMF, you go and borrow money, you go and do this, and that is the way to colonize you. Look, everybody borrows money one way or the other. America is borrowing money from China. That's not neocolonialism. Neocolonialism that the English are doing. So the Igbo have a lot of opportunity to make comments here. The neocolonialism of the English is very simple. They pick out the minority, says to the minority that, look, we will make you to rule over this majority, Yoruba, on the condition that we control you. And Fulani are the people they picked. That is neocolonialism. Though they put Fulani there with the power of the guns. So the English still control us till today. They know Tinubu will end that neocolonialism. That's why I said to people, because you are black doesn't mean that you cannot be friends with white people. Yeah. It is only the English as a nation and as a people that we, the Yoruba, disagree with because of their irresponsible action to continue to steal our wealth through Fulani. Why is it that the Fulani people do not want Tinubu as president of Nigeria? Do you think they want Tinubu? Look, go and look at presidential elections since 1979. Kanuri people have been voting for Yoruba. Kanuri and Fulani, Hausa, they are not the same thing. They fought themselves. Kanuri people kill a lot of Hausa Fulani people. Hausa Fulani kill them too. Go and check it out. Since 1979, Kanuri people vote for us. The people in Middle Belt, they have always voted for Yoruba. The people in Efiki Bibiu and the Jaw people, they've always voted for Yoruba, and Edo and Urobo. They have always voted for us. They did the same thing in 1979, 1983, 1993. They did the same thing in 1999. They will do the same thing for Tinubu in 2023. Fulani do not wish for Tinubu to be president. Why? It's very simple. Because Tinubu will hand the control of Yoruba police. He will hand their control of Yoruba military. Tinubu will hand Fulani control of the Yoruba waterways. He will hand Fulani control of the Yoruba immigration. He will hand Fulani control of Yoruba customs. He will hand Fulani control of Yoruba taxation. They don't want him. I'm saying to you now, Buhari doesn't want Tinubu as president of Nigeria. There will be war in that country, and Lagos is the battleground. We are preparing, and there will be deployment of chemical and biological weapons. That is the truth. Our generation will end this subjugation. So, you know, folks, Igbo, you know what I'm going to do? You are watching me through my page. I will make sure that we deactivate that page, because if you watch through my program, you can't make comment. That's why you are making stupid and foolish comments. We will not use that page because you are just horrible set of human beings. Because you lack human capital, you cannot listen attentively and make objective disposition of whatever you wish to share. You're making horrible comments, and I can do it. We can deactivate it so that you will not be able to see us through my page. You've shut down a lot of our pages in the past. We have to get new one every now and then. That is what is making you to make comment. You can't make comment on my profile because I've not added any single Igbo. But you are getting away with your stupidity through my page. And then we will have a meeting after this program so that we can see what we can do to stop your irresponsible behavior. So, folks, sorry for that digression a little bit. So the Fulani don't want Tinubu to be president of Nigeria. You know why the English don't want him to be president of Nigeria? Because he's going to stop their neocolonialism. The Fulani don't want him because Tinubu will stop Fulani from controlling our border. Go to Yoruba Bini border. It is Hausa Fulani children that you see there. Tinubu is going to end them. Tinubu will stop Fulani from controlling our crude oil. They won't control NMPC again. They won't control our taxes again. So Hausa Fulani don't want Tinubu to be president. Don't fucking fool yourself. Prepare for the use of chemical and biological weapons. That is the weapon that we will use. And I'm saying to the Fulani or they, if people should die as a result of taking power by the Yoruba, you think people will die for regional government? You are crazy. After we've killed ourselves, America will come, the English will come, and perhaps the French will come, and they will not say that we should accept regional government. You are crazy. It is Oduduwa Republic straight. So if you are smart, you will give up power. Because in America, the African-American minority cannot rule over the white majority. In United Kingdom, the Northern Irish, the Scottish, the Welsh minorities cannot rule over the English majority. So you, Hausa and Fulani, you have to accept this reality. You can no longer produce the presidency of Nigeria. It is coming to an end with Buhari presidency. Final. If you don't want us to rule over you, go and establish your Arewa Republic. You said you are Muslim, that you serve Allah, and you serve Allah through Muhammad, that there is Muslim brotherhood, right? Create your own Arewa. Go to Saudi Arabia, borrowed loan from them, free without interest. Use it to build infrastructure in your Arewa Republic. Is there anything big in that? Maybe you have Muslim brotherhood. Go to United Arab Emirates. They have crude oil too. Let them give you loan free. If truly you are Muslim brotherhood, go and found your own Arewa Republic and live peacefully thereafter. Why must you die with infidel? You call Yoruba infidel. Why must you live in the same country as us? But forget your propaganda of nonsense Muslim brotherhood. There is nothing of such. Saudi Arabia will not give you loan. You will go hungry. United Arab Emirates will not give you any shikini money. You said that we are bringing non-interest rate banking. Who are you fooling? The English that you are keeping our money with. By the time war breaks out in Nigeria, they will tell you that all the weapons that they've given you, the money is gone. People that are using your money to develop their own space. And it already said with it, anyway. So these are some of the reasons why the Fulani and Hausa will not vote for Tinubu. Don't let anybody fool you. Tinubu knows this himself. The next one and final is the Igbo. The Igbo people do not want Tinubu as president of Nigeria because Tinubu will bring back regional governments and devolve political power to the regions. And if Tinubu comes and bring back regional government, monthly allocation is gone. Security vote is gone. Constituency allowance is gone. So all these ridiculous 5 states that the Igbo has with 5 governors, 5 deputy governors, hundreds of thousands of commissioners, thousands of royal fathers, Igwe, you call them, board members, all of this nonsense that they pay their salary with Yoruba money is gone. They will have to look for their own money to pay their numerous political appointees and elected politicians. Where are they going to get the money? Nowhere. That is why they don't want Tinubu to be president. But let me be frank with you. This is all self-preservation. The fact that do not want Tinubu to be president is self-preservation so that the English can continue to steal Yoruba wealth through minority Fulani. The fact that the Hausa Fulani do not want Tinubu to be president is self-preservation because they know that if Tinubu is president, they won't be able to control our police. The way the EFCC, Horrible Magu, and the rest of them, Fulani controlling EFCC, is Yoruba that will control EFCC in Yoruba land. It's Yoruba that will control the police in in Yoruba land. It's Yoruba military. It's Yoruba that will control its own ports, its own custom. They know this reality. So they don't want to know it is for preservation. The Igbo are not doing anything wrong for hating on Tinubu. They know that if he comes, monetary allocation is gone. There will be a return back to regional government. Under regional government, there's no monetary allocation. There's no security vote. There's no constituency allowance. You look for your own money yourself. So all of them have legitimate right to do everything humanly possible to stop Tinubu, to stop a full-blooded Yoruba from the president of Nigeria. You, Yoruba citizen, you have the same legitimate right. You have the desire of self-preservation to arm yourself with chemical and biological weapons to kill these people because they want to stop your own progress. It is self-interest, which we call self-preservation, that are driving us to harm ourselves with chemical and biological weapons and deal with these people ruthlessly. That is why there will be war in Nigeria. Our demand is legitimate as Yoruba people. Minority cannot rule over us. We are majority in Nigeria and we are the economic backbone. So we must rule. Simple. But if these people are saying no, then we suggest to them that Nigeria must break peacefully with no war. To us that Nigeria will not break. Folks, they can't eat their cake and have it. They can't tell us that we cannot rule over them. They can't, and at the same time tell us that we cannot break out of Nigeria. We will kill them with chemical and biological weapons. That is the truth. Everything in life is about self-preservation. If you don't want to live in England again, sleeping with different men, sleeping with different women, getting involved in sham marriages so that you can have breaches, you can regularize your stay. After you regularize your stay, you start doing care work, you start washing toilets, you start doing security guard. If you don't want to live that life, because that is the same life your children will get involved to. If you are tired of it, you have to support the agitation for the Oduduwa Republic. You are Yoruba living in America, you go to Canada, you stress your life out, you marry all manners of human beings, even to get green card. That is the same thing your children will face. If you are tired, you have to join forces to put a full-blooded Yoruba man as the president of Nigeria. And that person is Tinubu. So to all of you Libra that are agitating, we want to do a republic, we want to do a republic. If you truly want to do a republic, first, you need allies. And you don't just go to anybody. Those of you are saying, let us go to Russia. Russia is not the most powerful country on planet Earth. Learn from the Scottish. They wrote to Pope around 17th century. Pope was the most powerful man on earth, and Pope helped them. That's why the Scottish are enjoying their life today. So the first thing first, we must cut the friendship of the United States of America. That's number one. And it is not free. America will request something from you. You get it? We must give them 10% of our wealth in return for military support. Number two, you must vote Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. That is it. If you put your son there, he's qualified to be president of Nigeria. He will give you your desire. It's just going to devolve power back to the region. And Fulani, Igbo don't like it. By the time they started grumbling, Tinubu will tell them the next of break, not break up, break. They will come. This regional government we accept. By the time the Fulani area, they will accept Nigeria in such a secession clause will be put in our constitution. There will not be federal military any longer. No, there will be regional armed forces. So we call them regional guard, whatever we call it. We devolve the military because the Fulani and the Igbo have always been using the military. And you know what that means? Whoever becomes the premier or prime minister of Yoruba will military agreement with the America, so that in 50 years after our generation have retired and our children generation are now ruling, Nobody will spring up from the north and want to try to kill them. America will come and support them. You understand? It's a simple thing. But let me tell you, in all human calculation, you have to give room for error. America could say, fuck you to Yoruba people. But they won't say that, believe me. Yoruba are very diplomatic. They will get American support. But let us give it a second thought. America could say, they're not interested. Tinubu could lose the presidency. So what is the fallback option? Organized violence. We shut down Lagos. We said enough of these guys. We said enough of this. Now let us go. I think they've shut us down. Hey guys, I don't know what is going on YouTube. You guys are allowing Igbo to try to shut us down. You are allowing Igbo, Yoruba regional guard, thank you very much. You are allowing Igbo to shut us down. They are not getting information. They've been calling me, pleading with me. Everything about Igbo is money, and they are criminals. They stole this money, of course. Say, we want to give me money. Yeah, we're running. One of them told me, we give you money to pay for your legal fee. Idiot people. We have donors that are helping us, and other people are making donations as well. So we don't need your money, fucking Igbo. So they're trying to shut us out because we speak the truth. So day 3 of our campaign on the interpretation of the Western Region Constitution. Say, folks, under part 2, I'm reading from page 70 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. If you have the copy of that Constitution, kindly open to page 170 under part 2, Procedure in Legislative House. Every member of either legislative of the regions, there are 2 legislative houses, the House of Obas and the Yoruba Parliament. The House of Oba used to be called House of Chief. YF has changed it to House of Oba to show respect to our Obas. The Yoruba Parliament used to be called House of Assembly. We don't want that anymore. We've changed it to Yoruba Parliament. So every member of either legislative house of the region shall, before taking his seat in that house, take and subscribe before the house the oath of allegiance. But a member may, before taking that oath, take part in election of a president of the House of Chief or a speaker of the House of Assembly, as the case may be. So after people have won election in Yoruba land, you have to take oath of allegiance. Imagine you have to pledge allegiance that you will never undermine the Yoruba civilization. That alone will show to you, if you want to make mistake and undermine our greatness, to think long and hard about your decision. You're being sworn in as a member of the Yoruba Parliament, and you are taking a oath of allegiance that you will never, in all that you are going to do as a member of the Yoruba Parliament, undermine the greatness and civilization of the Yoruba people. Beautiful. Regardless of your religion, taking a oath of allegiance that you will not destroy your own civilization is the best. But somebody taking a oath of allegiance and say, okay, I'm going to protect the integrity of Nigeria. Nigeria is not anybody's nation. That's why they are corrupt. That's why they do any manner of thing. They kill people. Nothing, everything goes. But if you are pledging allegiance to the Yoruba nation, folks, it's the greatest. It is the greatest. I actually desired this at the age of 15. I just hope, by the special grace of God and the people's vote, I'll be one day elected as the Prime Minister of Yoruba land, Oduduwa Republic. And I will be very, very happy with my children, particularly my son and my daughter. And I promise them so much that I'm going to do. But you know, I just jokingly said things as a 15-year-old boy. I just said to my parents that I want to be like Awolowo. I never imagined that she's going to turn out like this. But it will be great for me to take a oath of allegiance to defend Yoruba civilization. With that power, Igbo will hear when. So that is about our constitution. So let's go to presiding in the House of Chiefs. It's House of Obas. Presiding in the House of Chief. There shall preside at any sitting of the House of Chief the President of the House, or in the absence of the President of the House, the Deputy President, or in the absence of the President of the House and the Deputy President, such member of the House as the House may elect for that purpose. You guys know that the President of the House of Obas, not House of Chief, we changed it. The President is Alafin. I am not very sure, when the Benin and Delta and half of Bayelsa were still part of Western region, the deputy was the Oba of Benin. But shortly after they left, the deputy of the House of Oba was Awujale. I am not 100% sure, but we will do the findings and say to you. Yeah, that is just that. About that, I'm not going to read everything. I just want to read what are very important. Presiding in the House of Assembly, which we now call House of Parliament. It says, there shall preside at any sitting of the House of Assembly the Speaker, or in the absence of the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, or in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, such member of the House as the House may elect for that purpose. So, for proceeding to take place at the House of Assembly, which we now call the Yoruba Parliament, a speaker must be elected. The speaker must be elected. Now, there's no need for me to talk about quorum in the Legislative House. There's no need for that. You're going to get, I hope we're going to get to the executive today. We're not likely going to get to the executive because we want to put to rest these allegations of Femi Fani-Kayode that his father was the deputy premier. You will see from the Constitution of Western Nigeria, there was no provision for the position of the deputy premier, not at any given point in time. So Femi Fani-Kayode is just lying to you. Now, in our legislative house, unfortunately, the use of language in the legislative houses were approved. But if we recall this constitution after Mr. Tinubu must have been president, these are some of the amendments that will have to be in place. The House of Obas will have to use Yoruba essentially because they are our kings. Why should they be using English to speak in the House of Obas? No, it has to be Yoruba. The House of the Parliament might decide to use English or decide to combine the two. It will have to be via amendment that will be done. I don't need to talk about voting in the Legislative House. We don't need that. We just need to go to what is important. Unqualified person sitting or voting. So anybody that is not qualified or has not been elected will not be permitted to sit or vote. Mode of exercising legislative power. How do we exercise the legislative power? The power of the legislature of the region to make law shall be exercised by bills passed by both legislative houses of the region, or in the cases mentioned in section 27 of this constitution, the House of Assembly, and assented to by the governor. This is very important. For instance, if there is a bill that says that if you are not Yoruba, you cannot vote and be voted for in any election in Yoruba region. Assuming we're still part of Nigeria, we're saying Yoruba region. That bill will have to go through the Yoruba Assembly, or the Yoruba Parliament, which was originally called the House of Assembly. After the bill has been passed, it will go to the House of Obas. There, the House of Oba could reject it outrightly or accept it. And if the bills passes through the House of Obas, it will end up on the desk of the governor, whom we now address as the head of state, and that is Oni of Ife. It is Oni of Ife that has the power to reject that bill or has sent his signature. And you can know the implication of that. For instance, you have a bill saying that only Yoruba should vote. This will elicit public interest. People would like to know how the bill has been debated at the Yoruba parliament, and then move to the House of Obas, and then go into the decks of the government. That is what the Constitution says. After the bills have passed through the two houses, then it is now the responsibility of the Oni of Ife to use his pen, whether to reject it or accept it. Now imagine everybody has been looking up to it, and Oni of Ife said, rejected. People can call for his removal. That is the beauty of the Yoruba democracy. We practice this even before the incursion of the English colonial talks into our body politics. Oni won't do that. So you can see that. But today, all the junks law that our state houses of assembly have passed, junks, most of them, nothing substantial to add value to our life. Somehow, anyway, Oni of Ife has no say. The Yoruba Obas, they have no say. So why should you be blaming them? Under regional government, they decide our life because they are the natural rulers. Look at how the English prided their queen. Hey, Queen of England, everywhere. Queen of England, Queen of England, Queen of England. Are we treating our own like that? So you can't blame the Yoruba Obas. There's some youth will be saying, there's no food in Yoruba land. Everybody, we are poor. No electricity, nothing. The Obas have been reduced to Tetula kings. The Oba has no say again. The Igbo destroy your constitution. So you think that Oni of Ife is not bothered about the poverty in Yoruba land? He can't do anything because he's no longer your head of state. Because the Igbo suspended the constitution. You think Alaafin is not concerned about the rate of prostitution in Yoruba land? He is concerned, but he has no power anymore. You think Awujale, Oba of Lagos, Akaribu of Remo, Olubu of Igbo, you think all the Yoruba Obas are no longer bothered about your level of miserable, wretched life? They are concerned, but they are no longer in power. They can't decide. The constitution has been destroyed, suspended. So it is ridiculous to blame these people. A local government chairman can remove the Oni of Ife, your head of state. Igbo brought this useless system upon us, making local government chairmen to be more powerful than the Oni. But under regional government, the most powerful political figure in Yoruba land is the Oni of Ife, followed by Alaafin, then your elected premier. You cannot pass a single law in the entire Yoruba land without the consent of the Obas. You cannot pass a single law after the Obas have assented to that law. That bills rather cannot be made into law without the consent of Oni of Ife. That shows how powerful our Obas were. Igbo destroy all of this with guns. So you blame Oni of Ife, you blame Alaafin, you blame Oba of Lagos, you blame all the Yoruba Obas that they are not doing anything. What do you expect them to do? Sultan of Sokoto will appoint his own subject to be in charge of the waterways in Lagos. Oni of Ife cannot do likewise, yet is the head of state of Yoruba land. Obalo balori ongbogbo non-wi. Kò sí nǹkan kan tí Ọọ̀ni balẹ̀ lórí mọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Kò sí nǹkan tí Aláàfin balẹ̀ lórí mọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. The Igbo have destroyed that beautiful system. That is what the Constitution says. Mode of exercising legislative power. No single bill can be passed into law in Yoruba land without the consent of the Yoruba Obas. But today, do you have that? And you are saying our life is miserable. You are saying our life is wretched. You are saying that we are poor. You are saying that there is no development in Yoruba land anymore. It is because the Igbo suspended your constitution. I told you in the beginning, the only thing that is common with every independent nation on planet Earth is a constitution. Any nation that has a constitution means that they are independent. Where is the constitution of Yoruba land again? None, because the Igbo suspended it. But the beauty of it is you bring in Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. He's going to record this constitution. We're going to make amendment into it, and it will be binding on us, so that we can guide another foolish Igbo generation or Hausa Fulani generation destroying our new constitution after Tinubu is the president. We will put cessation clause in the constitution of Nigeria, that any regions that wishes to leave have the right to secede from Nigeria. With that, we back it up with the military support of the United States of America. Then the future of our children will have been secured. So those of you blaming Yoruba Obas, let me say another thing. Let me read. See, when a bill has been passed by the legislative house of the region in which it originated, it shall be sent to the other house, that is the Yoruba House of Oba, and it shall be presented to the governor for assent. Look at what the Ghanaians did. Look at what South Africans did. They wanted to chase out the Igbo because the Igbo are constituting nuisance into their respective countries. What did they do? They wrote a bills, passed the bills through their legislative house, and it became a law. So any Igbo that must do business in Ghana, you must invest $1 million. If the Igbo have $1 million, the question which you ask them, how did they get it? If they cannot answer that question, the next question is, why are they not investing the same $1 million in their own homeland, in Igbo land? Why? You should be curious. The Ghanaians have had enough of them. The South Africans have had enough of them. They asked them to leave. We have had enough of Igbo too, but we cannot do anything because we run unitary system until our own citizen, Tinubu, get the power of the presidency. That is when we will have the power to devolve power back to the region, so that our harbors can present bills to be signed into law by Oni of Ife, so that we can say to all foreigners in Yoruba land that you cannot set up any enterprise in Yoruba land without a joint venture. So when the English are coming to invest in Yoruba land, the managing director of their company must be a Yoruba citizen. When the Germans are coming to invest in Yoruba land, the managing director must be a Yoruba citizen in a joint venture. When the Igbo are coming to invest in Yoruba land, the managing director must be a Yoruba citizen. There's something that happened as a result of YYF campaign. We call out Cabri and other English businesses. You know, Cabri appointed a Yoruba citizen as their managing director for the first time. It has always been white English for so long of a time. We can't do that in their country. We're going to change the course of history, folks. So you see, we have no legitimate reason to blame the Yoruba Obas. Young Igbo took their power away. It will take young Yoruba like us to bring back their power. I said to young Yoruba that Oni of Ife or Alaafin for your any Yoruba will never order you to go to war, like Sunday Igboho was asking for. Oba will not ask you to go to war. If we start war now, Oba will not ask us to stop. Oba won't speak such. But they know what they wanted us to do. We, the young Yoruba, must protect the institution and our heritage, our harbors. We must bring back power into the hand. There's another section of this law, of this constitution. I'm reading from page 171, guys. Paragraph 4. When a bill is presented to the governor for assent, that is to the Oni of Ife, it shall signify that he assents or that he withhold assent. He has that power. Oni of Ife is a very powerful individual. Is he powerful today? No. Igbo will insult him. Fulani will insult him. Even some Yoruba women, they insult him. Because what? The Igbo have suspended the constitution. Oni of Ife is no longer powerful. Somebody that approves your anything he says is Ashe. It's law. Ashe Lunje law. We had the culture. Igbo had none. That was why it was convenient for them to destroy our constitution. Sorry, I'm reading something. Somebody, an Igbo, I'm reading an Igbo comment. You don't know what is coming your way, Igbo. You don't know what this generation is capable of doing. Paragraph 5 of the page 171 says, a bill shall not become law unless it has been duly passed and assented to in accordance with this constitution. No single law can be passed in Yoruba land without Oni of Ife. Not a single law can be passed in the United Kingdom without the Queen of England. You see, but today, what do you have? Our Obas, they've lost that power. Why is Lagos State described as the worst city to live on planet Earth? Yes, Google it. The Economic Intelligence Unit ranked Lagos State as the world's most dangerous city to live on Earth. The world's most dangerous city. Why? It is because of the influx of the Igbo. Why is it that we cannot reverse this trend? Because we run unitary system. Nothing, we can do nothing until we get the power of the presidency. Ghana, that have just chased out the Igbo with a simple policy. Ghana landmass is 238,535 square kilometers. Ghana landmass. It has a population of 30 million people. What is the landmass of Lagos? No, I'm asking you. Lagos landmass is only 3,577 square kilometers. Lagos. It has a population of 22 million people. Ghana, the entire Ghana landmass is 238,535 square kilometers. Lagos is only 3,577 square kilometers. Ghana has 30 million people. Lagos has 22 million people. Lagos has been described as the most dangerous city to live on planet Earth. That's a Yoruba city. Because the majority of the people in Lagos are immigrants from Igbo land. We told you on the first day of this lecture, when Ariel Nokakanfo was making noise that there are 500 ISIS terrorists in Yoruba land with power bikes. He provided not a single shred of evidence. We know that he was just doing propaganda of the PDP to continue to remain relevant. We produce research finding that says that 500 vehicles from Igbo land entered into Yoruba land every day. Only 100 vehicles return from Yoruba land to Igbo land. It's a difference of 400 vehicles coming into Yoruba land from Igbo land every blessed day. We estimated that each vehicle contains 50 passengers. If you multiply 50 passengers by 400 vehicles, that's turned out to be 20,000 passengers from Igbo land coming into Yoruba space every day. That will amount to 140,000 Igbo every week coming into our land. That is 560,000 Igbo people trooping into Yoruba land every month. If you quantify this in a year, that is 6.7 million Igbo criminals coming into our space. That is why Lagos has been described as the most dangerous city to live on planet Earth. Do you know how many cities that are on this planet Earth? Igbo destroy our homeland. But we can't do anything because we're on unitary system, because Igbo suspended these. If we're still running regional government, the Yoruba parliament will have passed a law to stop the mass migration of the Igbo. The law will have been taken down to the House of Obas. They will have debated it and passed it into law. And this will have been submitted to the office of Oni of Ife. It will have assented to that bill and make it a law to stop the mass migration of Igbo into Yoruba land. But we cannot stop them. They first destroyed this constitution and now trooping into our space. 6.7 million people. America, the richest country on planet Earth, will never take more than 300,000 people in a year to come into their country. We are having 6.7 million. This is why Lagos is the most dangerous place to live on earth. People are being raped. Our women, our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our nieces, they are facing hell because of Igbo criminality that comes into our space. We can't do anything anymore. The Yoruba Libra will blame Tinubu for the situation in Lagos. They will also blame the Yoruba conservatives who had ruled Lagos and still rule in Lagos. Ghana is a country. Lagos is just a city within Yoruba land, yet overcrowded with unregulated immigrants. Oni will have stopped this nonsense if we were still running regional government. Thank you very much, man. Igbo spread like COVID-19 into Yoruba land. A shame on them. Folks, believe you me. Ask MC Oluomo. He's an NURTW chairman in Lagos. Let him randomly select the NURTW members in Lagos, 100. Give them the power to go and be governors in Igbo land. They would turn that land into a great nation under 10 years. Igbo lack human capital. We can't stop. We allow people to troop into our space. Why did you think that the English left the EU? Because they were fed up with the unregulated mass migration of people into their country. They then opted out of the EU. There are certain conditions under which House of the Chiefs, that is the House of Obas, cannot make certain laws. I'll read section 26, subsection 1 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria, page 172. It says, proceed upon any bills other than a bill sent from the House of Assembly that is in the opinion of the person presiding, makes provision for any of the following purposes: the imposition, repeal, or alteration of taxation. There are some bills that are called money bills that are extremely important. You can't waste time on them. Some of these bills might not have to go to the House of Obas to be approved. For instance, if you want to reduce VAT, and the bills has been taken to the House of Assembly, which we call Yoruba Parliament, because it is money bills. By the time it gets to the House of Obas, it may take so long for them to deliberate on it before it goes to the House of, to the governor who is Oni of Ife. But this bill will be excused. They will easily quickly take it to the Oni of Ife for him to assent to the bill, because these are money bills. Bills that has to do with imposition, repeal, or alteration of taxation. I won't boil you down with all others. There are other things called money bills. I won't talk about the consolidated revenue funds for now. Maybe that will be another chapter. Another thing is that the House of Assembly cannot impose taxation. They can't impose taxation. Guys, you have to read some of these things on your own, because we cannot read everything for you, but they're not so voluminous. You just read this to know our history that has gone in the past, what we are trying to bring back, so that we can reshape the foundation of our society, so that we can think on how to make Yoruba land great. There are limitations of the powers of the House of Obas. The limitation of the power of our Obas is on money bills. It says, where a money bill is passed by the House of Assembly and having been sent to the House of Obas at least 1 month before the end of the section, and it is not passed by the House of Obas without amendment within 1 month after it is so sent, the bill shall, unless the House of Assembly otherwise resolve, be presented to the governor for his assent. So there are some limitations in the hands of our Obas as well. Our grandparents did fantastic work, man. We are just reinventing the wheel. A lot of people just praise WowIF, and I keep saying to them, we just read. If you also read, you will be like most of our members. Without reading, you will lack information. So many people that we impress, majority of them don't know the essence of us doing research. It is because we just want to make Yoruba land great. We're looking for information everywhere. That's why it's a pain in my heart that those guys that were giving us information in House of Rock were relieved of their position because of my arrest last year. But notwithstanding, we'll get around it, and people will continue to supply information at this crucial moment in the life of the Yoruba nation, because we want to take the presidency. So the Obas have limitations too. Any bills that is money bills that it is sent to the Obas and they don't decide upon it quickly, the Yoruba Parliament has the right to withdraw the bill from them and move straight to the office of Wani of Ife and explain to the office of Wani of Ife that, look, we are reducing taxation, we are repealing these taxes, we're making this amendment on this money, we need your assent immediately. There's so many beautiful pieces of information in these things that you need to read, folks. But I'm not going to be reading everything for you. Read up about the regulation of procedure in the House of Legislative Houses. Interpretation of Part 2. Let me define money bills to you as written in the Constitution. Interpretation of Part 2, Section 29. Without prejudices to the generality of Section 80 of this Constitution, in this part of this chamber, money bill means a bill that, in the opinion of the Speaker of the House of Assembly, that is the Speaker of the Yoruba Parliament, contains only provision dealing with the imposition, repeal, remission, alteration, or regulation of taxation. Taxations is very important. Yesterday night, because of this campaign that we've started, I do release information to the general public a day before every of our speeches. We release the information about Decree 34, the unification of the public services, the change of the Nigerian name to Republic, and many other information a day or two before our first day of this campaign. Yesterday, we released taxes paid as far back as 1929. You can see it, WowIF members have circulated it. Taxes paid from Ibadan Native Authority, from Ilorin Native Authority. We released all of these, 1929, 1930, 1931, 1932, up to 1938, 1939. Excuse me. To show the importance of taxation. It is taxes that you use to develop a nation. Yoruba people were paying taxes. That is where we had it good in Yoruba land under regional government. That is why you can see about 3 different sections of this constitution spoke essentially on the money bills, focusing on taxation, because that is the basis of running a nation. It is the taxes collected in Yoruba land that we use to provide welfare benefit for you under regional government, to provide free healthcare, free education, and made Yoruba land great. But Yoruba land is no longer great today because all the taxes collected in Yoruba land go to Abuja for the economic growth and development of Hausa Fulani people and Igbo, because they destroyed this constitution and gave us unity system that is stealing our taxes. If you look at the unity system constitution section 162 subsection 1 under public revenue, we've read it. Ridiculous, saying that the federal government will collect money from Yoruba land, from Igbo land, from Hausa land, from everywhere, and take everything to Abuja, and they will now use the number of states, the number of local government, land mass, and population to share the money. That is how they destroy you. They don't want Tinubu as the president of Nigeria because they don't want him to change that ridiculous constitution. Money bills is very important because it has to deal with taxation. It says, under the section 29, it says, the imposition for the payment of debt or other financial purposes of the charges on the consolidated revenue fund or any other public funds of the region, or the variation or the repeal of such charges. These are important bills. If you want to impose new tax, if you want to repeal a tax, if you want to request for remission of a tax, if you want to alter a tax, or if you want to regulate a tax, these are important bills. If you send it to the House of Oba and they are delaying it, the House of Parliament can take it away from them and move it down to the Oni of Ife for Oni of Ife to assent his signature, because they are important. There's so many other important things to do as well. You know how they define taxation? The expressions taxation, public money, and loan do not include any taxation, money, or loan raised by local authority or body for public purposes. The taxation they talk about in this constitution is the taxation of the regional government, nothing to do with the local authority like provinces and local governments. This will bring me to the end of day 3. Chapter 2 of this constitution of Western region, we divided it into 3 parts. So tomorrow I'll conclude the 3rd part. It is important for you to know one thing. To destroy a people, you destroy their constitution. To ruin a generation, you destroy their constitution. Every independent nation on planet Earth has a constitution. Since 1960, we have been left with no constitution as Yoruba people. That is why our life is miserable. That is why our people are poor and wretched. That is why the best of our brain are scattered all over the world. Imagine people are even in Japan, Yoruba people, simply because the Igbo suspended our constitution. We were challenged as a movement to produce the constitution of Western Nigeria because we stated that there is something like that last year, and we brought it out. So you guys, I want you to think for a moment. Will you allow a group of young men who are precocious, extremely intelligent, day in, day out, read, acquire knowledge and information, and they speak eloquently about this? Will you rather support these people or imbeciles who just sit around in front of computer in their various useless homes across England, talking shit about Oduduwa Republic, saying that they want Oduduwa Republic, and people who have never even read the Constitution of Nigeria, who have no clue that there is a constitution called the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Will you follow these people? No. If you are reasonable, you will never do. So the people who are agitating for Oduduwa Republic now are liberals, PDP supporters. Their single and only target is the destruction of Tinubu. And many of them were the same people who labeled me as a madman between 2012 and 2017. They were the people who called me a jobless man. They were the people who requested and asked the government of the United Kingdom deport me, simply because our movement started advocating for Oduduwa Republic. They have joined the bandwagon essentially because they see our agitation as a means to derail the presidency of Tinubu. We that started the agitation for Oduduwa Republic, we have a focus. We've been saying for years, without the support of the United States of America, we would never get Oduduwa Republic. Without playing politics, we would never get Oduduwa Republic. Without organized violence, we will never get Oduduwa Republic. We still have this focus, guys. Our leaders have reached out to the United States. We started this, but because it was so expensive, the money they requested of us to lobby, I've not even seen that money. I don't think my parents have seen such amount of money before in their life. So we impress it on the Yoruba political leadership to reach out to the United States, and they did. So we are on the second phase of our agitation for the Oduduwa Republic. We are playing politics. We've identified a man that has stood the test of time and who will help us to bring home the bacon. And that man is Tinubu. We're supporting him and rooting for him, even though he has not shown interest in contesting for the presidency of Nigeria in 2023. If he can get the presidency, our last phase, which is organized violence, will no longer be needful. But where a full-blooded Yoruba man will not be allowed to rule Nigeria from 2023 and forever, it is organized violence that will end Nigeria. So thank you, folks. I'm very grateful. And I will just look through some of your comments to see if I can answer your questions. But the commentaries that I'm reading are from Horrible Igbo. Okay, guys, I don't think there's much to say or do now. I thank you very much for joining me today. Tomorrow we will be on day 4 of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. I want you to bring in some of your friends so that you help us to share this. Now, okay, people are saying they want to ask me some questions. I won't. There's so many people that are always watching me for the ulterior motive. They are horrible. They always watch me for ulterior. Police are also watching what I'm doing as well. There's a family member I know who is watching me for ulterior motive. They are all horrible. We're going to deal with them. See you tomorrow. Okay. That's because of the system we're on. Maybe. Well, I'm going to have to stop this broadcast on my page. Yeah. We are running it through the Young Yoruba for Freedom page. We're also running it through my personal page, Adeyinka Grandson. But I'm reading a lot of horrible commentaries from criminally minded Igbo. And we'll stop because you can't make comment on my profile because we've stopped your comments. Only friends can make the comment. Thank you so much. Let me just appreciate some of you, Mr. Alaba. Thank you so much. You've been your role model to me, in case you don't know. Comrade Folari, thank you so much. And unfortunately, I can't see the other names. It's the name that I can see that I'm referring to. Madam Ade Bayo, thank you so much for joining us. Madam Buki, thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of people ask me to speak in Yoruba. I speak in English deliberately. I want the police to also listen to it. Was when I speak in Yoruba, they would download it and take it down to the police. It takes them time. They will now be translating it into English. That is what the police are. They spend a lot of money on on me, giving Yoruba people jobs in England to translate some of my my campaign in Yoruba in English. But that's not the only reason why I speak English. I speak English to get the message to every other person. So sometimes when I get into the normal spirit, I speak my language. I love to speak Yoruba to my children. I speak English to my dogs when I used to live in Yoruba land. And then I speak Yoruba to my children. Now I'm going to stop this broadcast from my page, by God willing, tomorrow. So guys can only log on onto my Facebook profile if you want to follow us on Facebook. But that of my page, we will have to stop using it because the Igbo can make comments there. They are distracting people from that angle. Thank you so much, Mr. Hadiola. Thank you so much, and I'm very impressed with you, sir. Thank you so much. Hey guys, I can't see. I can see comments. I can see comment from Facebook profile. I'm looking at Facebook page. It's very close to me, but I can't see much comment because there's a lot of evil distracting people there. Okay, so we're gonna have to end it now. There. Cheers, guys. See you tomorrow.